Welcome to Let's Play Battlefield 1942 bonus episode, Kharkov. The twist on this one, I guess, is that I'm going to be playing more with the engineer. I may not play as engineer the entire time, but I'll definitely be mixing that in. And I've also been assigned to the Axis round this time around. You know, it's been a long time since we've been to Kharkov. Remember that first episode in Kharkov? We were on the Allied side that time. So it might be interesting to compare how the battle develops. Although, you know, this time the German side, the Allied side on this map, they're basically the exact same thing. The maps are symmetrical. There's really not a whole lot of difference. So the good news on that is you can kind of compare how the rounds opened up, how they fared for each side. I'm flying the German dive bomber plane. It's pretty awkward. In fact, on both of the Eastern Front maps where you get planes, and there are only two of them, the maps seem to be, they just seem really small because your plane's going so quickly through the area. You run to that out of bounds area really quickly. And this plane in particular, it's so heavy that it's very difficult to keep it high in the air and do good dive bombing. I got a really lucky bombing run there. It's tricky to bomb when you're just flying straight forward and dropping them, hoping that they land on the target with inertia, and I got it right in between the two guardrails of that bridge. But generally speaking, and I'm not the best pilot there is, but I really don't find planes to be too terribly useful, although on this map it can be useful. Particularly if you're bombing the hill flag when they don't have anti-aircraft, that is. But again, the German dive bomber plane's also not very good against the fighter plane. There's one bomber and one fighter. In fact, here's the Russian dive bomber. I think that is more maneuverable than the German dive bomber as well. So you could get shot down by either one. I'm just setting up some landmines there. And the next time the plane campers, there don't seem to be any plane campers, but when they spawn in, well, that guy, see, it's so rare to have people in the main base just dropping down. Of course, I have an excuse. I was a parachuter. Come on, take the plane. Why is he not going forward there? It's almost like he suspects something, but is it because he realizes I bumped it? There we go. So that's probably the most fun you're going to have with an engineer on this game. Just setting up little landmine traps in there. I'll just stick another one there when it respawns in. And I'll drive off. The next person who spawns in is probably going to take the bomber plane. And that's a two-seater. Yeah, there you go. There's your two people in the two-seater. It's always nice to just booby trap stuff and drive off. Now, as an engineer, particularly with this version, on the Pacific maps you get the semi-automatic one. This one takes forever between shots. But when you assault a flag, you don't want to be an engineer. You want to be a medic or even an assault. Because any kind of close-quarter combat is just going to get you killed with the engineer kit. The engineer's really, his purpose is to support attacks. You want to be kind of at medium to long range while other people on your team who do have short range weapons are going in to at least neutralize the flag first. But as an engineer, you can do some guerrilla stuff. Just wait back. People never defend, and they never expect anyone to sit back and wait for you to leave. So just wait for them to go, and then you can move in and take the flag. See, right there, if I'd gone in first, I would have faced a tank. Maybe the guy would have used his machine gun or whatever, but just sitting around waiting for him to leave, I was able to capture the flag completely uncontested. Somehow team killed there. Yeah, by a tank. Alright, so I know that there's infantry about to storm this place, so I spawn in as a medic. I'll go back to engineer as soon as it's convenient. This flag is closest to the Russian main base, so we're probably going to see a lot of their tanks. But unfortunately, now I'm wishing I had that engineer kit, although even then it would be difficult to sneak up on him with the landmine. I think he spotted me. The medic really has no way of dealing effectively with a tank, especially on his own. And I can't really do the guerrilla warfare trick too effectively either, because he knows I'm here. I neutralize the flag. That tank icon that popped up for just a second was most likely the guy jumping out to repair it. Unfortunately, I wasn't right near him when he did that, otherwise I could have killed him and stolen the tank. This flag has now been neutral for a very long time. There are only so many different places that you can hide within this radius, but it seems like people manage to do all of them. And again, when you're at medium range with the medic's gun, you just move back and forth, side to side, and fire in short bursts to maintain some kind of accuracy. You don't have to be too accurate, you just have to be more accurate than the other guy's machine gun. And I don't know where in the radius that guy was hiding. There must be someone from way back when. One thing you can do if you just want to keep that flag neutral for a very long time is to be in the coast on the beach. It's just barely within the radius and no one ever looks down there. Well, this flag is their only flag currently, and it's very well occupied, but now see both tanks leaving. One infantry behind them, just taking some pot shots. They'll probably think it's coming from the other direction. And there's a third tank plus an empty one. See, if you just stick around for a while, just wait them out, things will change, and hopefully for the better. Ouch. Definitely did not need that friendly plane bombing the tank like that. And that was an effective bombing job too, because I was at full health and he completely destroyed it. For whatever reason, sometimes if they just barely take off all the hit points of the tank, you'll get a little bit of time just to jump out. I'm going to head over to the center flag now. I didn't really get too much of a chance in that first episode way back when, back in beginning of August, I guess. First episode. Didn't get too much of a chance to show off the center flag, which is really where a lot of the action takes place and what I maintain to be the most important flag. You can assault it just so easily, you want to time it so right after you start attacking, the flag turns neutral. Once the flag turns neutral, you lose some of the element of surprise, but if you attack too early, they can just respawn in right after you kill them. So you want it to be neutralized right in there, especially on a server like this with a 5-second respawn timer. But I love attacking this flag because you can sneak right up on it. I got really lucky there. You can sneak up just by going around the edges of the hill, and they can't see you whatsoever until you're right up on them. Looking more generally now, we're basically tied now. I wasn't really paying, I have to confess, too much attention to the overall strategic picture like I sometimes do. But if the tickets are tied, you gotta say both teams have been doing equally well. I didn't really notice too much ticket bleed going on either side. Of course, there was a long time when this western flag over here was neutral. So if they at least were doing something with one of the other two flags, we couldn't have bled them. And that just shows you how useful and important it can be just for one guy to hide somewhere and keep a flag neutral. That's 1/3 of the entire map. So for one guy to be able to do that is incredibly effective. And stay tuned for part 2.